Let me start with a sort of a big picture question, which I think is probably maybe your main focus. Prime Minister Modi has set a really ambitious goal to make India a developed nation by 2047. That's a generation from now. What do you think are the key priorities? What are your focus in the government to make this happen? And what's the role that you envision for the private sector in ensuring this transformation?
Well, thank you very much. First, that I have this opportunity to interact with you, your students, and I hope to learn a lot from this session, other than the thoughts that I will share here. To your question, India is in a very critical juncture when you look at the ways in which India has to move forward, and we've set ourselves a sort of destination that in the year when we will be celebrating 100 years of having gotten us out from the British rule, that is 2047, we want to be and we aspire to be a developed country. And if that's the case, many of the things that we are investing in or doing, and also more importantly, because nearly 45% of our population is under the age of 30. And the mean age is about 28. We have so much to do for the youth of the country. And also because there is constant looking back at legacy problems, legacy issues of the society. The Prime Minister gave himself this formulation. Two of them. One is, how are we going to go about this? So I would compress it to say 4 I's. First is infrastructure to be developed, whether it is your physical infrastructure in the name of bridges, ports, whatever, or the digital infrastructure, which is so critical for so many different purposes. So infrastructure. The second would be to invest in it. And in that comes the element of private investments, but more importantly, to kickstart the whole thing, have public investment go in. In the previous budget, we had given more than 9.5 lakh crores. We had estimated a 10 lakh crore for it, but we achieved about 9.46 lakh crores. So this year, budget has come up with an estimated public expenditure of about 11.11 lakh crores. So every year there's been, since after COVID, approximately 18 to 20% increase annually in the investment, public investment in capital asset building. So investment comes next. So the second I is my investment, in which I'm saying first we start with public investment that would trigger and bring in the ecosystem in such a way that more investments will happen in core industries. So if you want infrastructure, you need cement, you need steel, you need so many other fundamental products. So for that, the investment will have to happen through private sector as well. Public sector companies can do it, but more. So the demand for core products are generated. If that's the second I, the third I is innovation. Unless we come up with innovative solutions for our problems and our aspirations, you're not going to, for instance, for many of the things that we want solutions for, cannot be made somewhere and then brought here. The costs will go up and they may not be appropriate to the situation for which we want a solution. So we want in situ solutions for many of our problems. That itself becomes a challenge for innovations to work out. So innovation, and the last and most important, is inclusiveness. In everything that we do, we want to make sure that everybody gets included. We are not going to let any one particular section of a society, omission or commission, not including people. No deliberate attempt at not including people, but more deliberate attempt at including people. So that addresses the rough pathway through which we want to reach this. But then when I said about the legacy issues and also the various divisive elements that can come with respect to what prevails and without disturbing the existing social structures, because affirmative action is given in the Constitution. You will have to uplift poor, you will have to uplift the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, which is a commitment given in the Constitution. But other than that, the Prime Minister said, if I address 4 groups and make sure that if these 4 groups are given every access to resource, every access to opportunity, I'll overcome many of the situations which otherwise get, disrupted because of vested interest, if I may use that word. So what are the 4 groups? Farmers, because they're so critical for our food security, and as a country which has more than now, I think all my numbers will have to be related to a certain period, because current general census is due, likely to happen soon. So I'm banking on figures which came 10, 12 years, 20 years ago. But approximately that's the proportion. So nearly 60% of the population still is dependent directly or indirectly on agriculture. So we need to support farmers. Then you're looking at women, because women belonging to any groups, any religion, any caste, any section, women need that support. And Prime Minister's objective has always been help women, you help the family, support and skill them, give them opportunity. So women. So you had farmers, you had women. Youth, as I said, the numbers of Indian youth is our strength. As much as if you fail to serve them, you're going to lose that opportunity. And the final plot, again, inclusivism. Poor. India's poor need to be brought up. And as I go further, I might explain how, because of the schemes of government, the poor are coming out. 250 million people have been lifted from multi-dimensional poverty in the last 6-7 years. So that's been a priority of this. So.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.